So we now get to enjoy our third Duluth Distinguished Artist Award, and Counselor Gardner will get us started in just a moment. And while she is getting set up and getting us started on that, I want to make just a couple of comments. We did have an art show here. It was the member art show from the Duluth Art Institute, and counselors were able to go to the art show and select a piece that did hang in council chambers for about a month or so, and that has now been taken down, and we now have a youth and student art show through the Duluth Art Institute here hanging. And the one thing I would say that I wish we had done, actually, in regards to the member art show, and if I could go back and do it differently, I would. I think if the council does that again, it'd be really a nice and important gesture to offer a very small stipend even to the artists, because they're loaning their art to us here. And so I'd like us to consider, should the future councils do that. I think there are several options and different ways we could do that, but certainly wanting to honor a gift of art in our space that's taking a piece out of commission for the artists who did it. So that said, welcome.
Is it our turn now?
It's your turn. Take it away.
Okay. First of all, it is with great pleasure and a lot of happiness that I am able to present the April 2015 Duluth Distinguished Artist Award to theatrical performing artist, director, actor, mentor, and teacher Julie Ahasay. Julie came to Duluth after graduating from UWS in 1971, and she immediately became involved in our then very small... That's when I started. Oh, that's when you started. Never mind. Mid-70s. Mid-70s. Sorry, I wrote it down wrong. Oh, I thought I was doing such a good job when I interviewed you, too. You did. So, anyway... Sometime in the mid-70s, she immediately became involved in our very small, at the time, theater community. I think it was pretty much the Duluth Playhouse, the universities, and maybe an occasional dinner theater. Mm-hmm. That was about it. And subsequently became a regular performer with Calder by the Lake, which was our first really successful improv group in Duluth, and everybody loved it. And she also performed with Renegade Comedy Theater. And she has, in the past 5 years, since 2010, directed 17 theatrical productions in the last 5 years. Now, this is her resume. You know, this is 3 pages. I can't go on. But I will tell you that some of the plays she's done has directed A Cat on the Hot Tin Roof, Other Desert Cities, The Odd Couple, Amadeus, 39 Steps, The Secret Garden, and so forth. We can go on all night. And along with her acting, many acting roles, and they're too numerous to name. But I do remember Fairy May very well from Curious Savage, because I happened to be in that show as well. So this goes back a long way. I think, you know, Julie is among a very select few artists who have made major innovations and contributions to Duluth's now thriving and growing theater community. Her body of work and collaboration with others have helped make Duluth an important regional theater destination. And, you know, I know that you could have gone anywhere, Julie, in the country and enjoyed success as an actor and a director, but you chose to stay here. And we are very fortunate in our Duluth community to have you here. And I personally can't wait to see what you do next. So, in all of that said, I'm just going to share the last of this award, and the rest, you can read the rest of it at your leisure. Whereas Julie Ahasay has shared her talent, humor, and creativity to entertain audiences and contribute to the growth of the Duluth theater community for the past 4 decades. And whereas her collaboration with other artists and her inclusiveness are essential contributing factors that resulted in the city of Duluth becoming a major regional theater destination. Therefore, be it resolved that the Duluth City Council presents the April 2015 Duluth Distinguished Artist Award to Julie Ahasay. Thank you.
I have a we speech. It's really we. Thank you so much for this honor, Sharla, and members of the City Council, including my very own next-door neighbor.
Know it.
One of my favorite words in the world is gobsmacked, and there just isn't a better word for how I feel right now. To be singled out of so many artists in a community that is just stuffed with them is truly an honor. The great choreographer Twyla Tharp said, "Art is the only way to run away without leaving home." I knew from the moment I moved here many, many years ago, and Sharla pointed out, that I was home. I love Duluth. But I also felt like so many other people that I was going to have to leave here if I truly wished to be a capital R, real capital A artist. My bags were always packed, at least in my imagination, for years. And not only did artists feel this way, that we were going to have to leave to pursue our art, people in the community seemed to feel that way too. I remember one night after a particularly raucous Colder by the Lake show, a guy walked up to a couple of us in the cast and said, "You guys are so good. What are you doing here? Why aren't you in a bigger city?" And one of us said, "Well, I don't know, thank you, but don't you think you and people in Duluth deserve good stuff too?" And he was gobsmacked. Apparently, he hadn't thought about that. I stayed here. I stayed home. And so, thank God, did a lot of other people. And as the years went by, I got great opportunities here I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. I got to direct an opera. I got to direct the production of a brand new play, to act with brand new companies, to rethink ways of presenting theater, and to work with talented and dedicated theater artists who inspire me, and to actually get paid for my work. And I got to watch audiences grow in size and in sophistication. There's a Duluth audience if you're doing a gigantic tap dancing musical and for productions of scripts that nobody has ever heard of. There are people willing to get bundled up in the coldest nights of the winter and see a bunch of people decide they're going to do Hamlet. There are supporters for the edgiest kind of theater you can think of. If we produce it, they will come. In a single weekend in this town last winter, there were 5 different theater productions running at the same time. And every single seat in every single one of those theaters was filled, and that's the theater community in Duluth. So I am deeply grateful that I stayed home. And some of those people who moved away some years ago, they're coming back home because this is a cool place to make art. Theater is an art form that requires other people, directors, designers, actors, producers, and of course, audiences. And in Duluth, we have got them all. The great playwright Tom Stoppard called theater a series of insurmountable obstacles on the road to imminent disaster. In other words, it's scary fun, and people in this community recognize that and support us. And while no, I don't make my whole living as a theater artist, thanks to this community, I've made a wonderful life with it. Thank you, city councilors, for seeing this arts community for what it really is. It's the beating heart of our home. Thank you.